Welcome to Ajax Talks series, the YouTube show where we talk to professionals in the security industry who shape the markets across the world. Today's guest works in one of the most competitive and conservative markets in Europe, UK country manager at Ajax Systems. Please welcome Aaron Scott. Aaron, great to have you here.
Great to be here. Thank you.
But before we dive in, hit subscribe and join Ajax Pro channel. Turn on notifications to see more product demos, some real experiments, and honest industry talks. The UK security market is strictly standards-driven. It has strong installer culture, high customer expectations, and high compliance requirements. A market where reputation matters and all habits die hard. Aaron, let's start from the beginning. How did you get into the security industry and what path eventually brought you to leading Ajax in the UK?
So I've been in the security industry for around the last 15 years.
Oh.
So a very long time. I know I don't look old enough. However, I started off with a company called ADT, a large fire and security company, global company. Started off knocking doors, selling residential alarm systems, then moved into a commercial role, selling bigger systems, fire systems and things like that as well, before finally leading the UK and Ireland sales team for around 4 years. Then I took a break out of the industry for a year to explore different avenues, different roles, different businesses before coming to Ajax. So I knew about Ajax before I joined. However, when I had the discussion about joining, it was really exciting to look to join an innovative company that's really moving forward and breaking the boundaries of fire and security.
Okay, Aaron, you lead the UK market. It is known for being mature and quite traditional. What makes it fundamentally different from other European markets?
For me, the market is, as you say, is very mature. So we've got a lot of people that have been in the industry for 20, 30, 40 years, and a lot of them are stuck in their ways. Mm-hmm. The industry hasn't changed a lot until Ajax come along. For a long time, it's like people, you may have had a Nokia 3310 at one point. Now no one really uses them anymore. People have iPhones.
For sure.
We're not going around in horse and carts, we're driving cars. So technology moves on, people moves on, and the industry for a long time has been stuck in the Nokia 3310 era. However, what we're doing at Ajax is really shaping the future of the industry with technology, with smart devices to really bring it into this era. Not just metal panels on walls anymore. It's, smart technology.
Okay, as a country leader, you have a broad perspective on the market. What has changed the most in the UK security industry over the last 5 years?
So I think really what's changed is the technology. So as I said, up until recently, it's been metal boxes on walls and keypads that you have to program the systems from. In the past 5 years, it's really moved on technology-wise. So we're seeing a lot of other manufacturers that are copying Ajax with the technology, with some of the devices. They look very similar to Ajax, which is great. We're great to be copied because people think our product's that great. However, with Ajax, we're 2 years ahead. So when these other companies are looking at our product and trying to copy it, they're 2 years behind our R&D team. We've got over 1,300 people that work in our R&D. Yeah. We're continuously developing that technology. And for us, it's about the end user and it's about the installer. So it's giving a better product to the end user and something that an installer can install easily and, with using technology on their side. For us, the industry's moved a lot with recurring revenue. Mm-hmm. So up until recently, there was only a few businesses in the UK that used to have that recurring monthly charge. It used to be, we'd go and sell the system, we'd make a margin on that system, and then we'd maybe go back once a year to service it and if there's any repairs that need doing. What we're seeing now is a real shift into, the mobile phone, the Sky, the Virgin TV model, where you're getting that monthly recurring revenue. So, you install the system, you make a good margin, but then on the first of the month, you've got that recurring revenue for doing nothing really. And then the following month, it compounds. So you've got those customers that you've installed and got that recurring revenue. and then it compounds the next month and the next month. So people are more shifting towards that recurring revenue, whether it's with SIM cards, whether it's with cloud storage, or a rental model, so to speak, where they're really making that money.
UK installers often stay loyal to the system they know for years. How difficult it is to change installer habits?
At the start of Ajax launching in the UK, it was very difficult, very difficult. As you say, the industry has been set in its ways. It hasn't changed very much over the last 30, 40 years. So we found it quite difficult to begin with. But now people are waking up, the industry's waking up. And what we're really finding now is people that were against the change, against, the Nokia 3310, moving to an iPhone, they're now on board. I'll give you an example. There was one installer, one partner that we went to see. Really great company, do lots of installations, very loyal to the brands that they were installing. We went to visit them and they said the issue of why they wasn't going to use Ajax is because of the cost. So for them, they've got a great product that they use already, but it was the cost of Ajax. It was too expensive for them to install. So what I decided to do is offer them the system for free. So I said, look, if you want, we'll give you 10 free systems. You can install those systems, see how they are, and see what you think. Now, I knew the price wasn't the problem. We got a far superior product, and the price is very competitive against our competitors. This gentleman declined and said, look, I'll be honest, Aaron, the issue is not the price. The issue is the fact I'm going to have to train all of my engineers. I'm going to have to take 14 engineers off the road, retrain them all. I'm going to have to train all my back office staff. I haven't got the time. Plus, I know your product's far superior. However, I don't have a problem yet, although it's coming, with the systems that we're already installing. Roll on 1 year later. We've now sold them a few systems, our EM54 Part 25 commercial fire system. They've installed 5 so far over the past couple of months. And we've really seen that shift now, because what's happening is they're losing out to competitors who are installing our system. So now they've got the problem. So the problem they had before is they didn't want to train the engineers. Now the problem is they're losing money to the competitors who are installing Ajax. So they have to change now. They have to move with the technology. They have to get rid of the Nokia 3310 and come into the 21st century, so to speak, and install Ajax. So we've really seen that shift of now they're happy to do that work because they see the real benefit, not only to themselves as a business, but to the end user, the customers that are now asking for Ajax. So we're seeing that as well. We're seeing the end users, whether it's residential customers to large commercial customers, who are now requesting for Ajax to be installed. So now they're coming to us to say, look, we need to install it because we're being asked for it. So it's moving on. It's moving on.
But even after such successful stories, I believe there still are some skeptical installers who don't want to trust Ajax in the UK. So what usually convinces them to install Ajax?
A lot of people are set in their ways. So a lot of people think that an alarm system is just an alarm system. You've got a keypad maybe on a wall, you've got a metal box in the corner and some cables coming out of it to devices. CCTV is just a CCTV system, and a fire system is a separate fire system. What we're now finding is a lot of people are coming to us for solutions. So rather than just an alarm or just a fire system or CCTV or home automation, for instance, we're finding they're coming to us with the problem to say, okay, how can Ajax fix this? What's the solution that Ajax can offer to be able to help our end user, our client, our customer more with their problem? I'll give you an example. So we had one installer who installs into care homes for the elderly. The problem they had was they had what they call a nurse call system in the UK, where the elderly person, requires some assistance. They press a call button, and then they speak on the nurse call system to somebody that's there in the facility or at a different location. They've come to us with the problem of, how can Ajax help with that? How can we integrate that into an alarm system? Because historically, those type of systems are separate. The great thing about Ajax is it's one ecosystem. It's one platform. It's one app. So the solution we had was our speakerphone. Fantastic product. Two-way audio. You can speak with somebody via the servers, and anywhere in the world you can have that conversation. So the solution we provided was a button for them to press, and then they could have a two-way conversation. The issue they had was still the problem with hearing. So it wasn't hearing the speakerphone, but The elderly people would be watching TV, watching their soaps, and because they're hard of hearing, they'd have the volume really high. What's the answer? Well, the answer was an Ajax smart plug, smart socket. So what we managed to do with this installer is set up a scenario. So when the elderly person pressed the button, it would turn the TV off, and they could then have that two-way conversation with whoever it was that they're looking to help. So we're finding now people are not just installing alarm systems, they're not just installing CCTV or fire systems, they're installing complete solutions that now help people more than ever before with automation, with fire, with security, and it's really changing people's view of the market, of the industry, and what's out there.
Okay, moving on. Can you share the real example of a successful installer or partner you have worked with, and what exactly made them successful?
So we have many. If I was to list them all, we'd be here for days. However, the one that really sticks in my mind is one from a company called Squire, a fantastic partner of ours in the UK. And one of the problems they had was they were looking to do a stately home, almost like a castle in the UK. And the requirement from the end user was for a fire system. Historically, fire systems are wired for reliability. The wireless ones haven't been that great. You can't have that many devices until now, until Ajax. So they installed our EM54 Part 25 commercial fire system into this stately home. They had no issues at all. The installation in thick walls was no problem for Ajax. It was a surprise for me that we only used one range extender across this whole premises, but it also gave them the opportunity to upsell. Historically, an installer would have gone in and installed a fire system and then asked, do you want us to install a separate hub, a separate system for an intruder alarm or CCTV? This installer was able to then upsell the intruder devices onto the same system, so the customer then doesn't have additional work, additional cabling. It's all in one system. So it's really made that customer, the end user, really happy with an all-in-one system, and the installer made them more money, more profit, and more sticky customers because they were able to offer so many more things.
Aaron, let's talk money, more money. So tell me, please, where does the real money land in the security business in 2026? Monitoring, video, maintenance, maybe something else?
So for me, a big problem in the industry at the moment is labor costs. We've got a turn of engineers that are not coming into the industry. They're doing different things. So we're trying to bring on more apprentices. We're trying to bring more people into the industry. But the biggest problem is labor, and good labor. So what we're finding is those engineers that have been in the industry for 30, 40 years are wanting a lot more money because there's less of them. They're highly skilled. They've been in the industry for years, and we appreciate those people. What we're finding with Ajax now is it's still highly skilled people that are installing our systems, but they can install it quicker. So whereas before they may be installing one system a week because they're having to run cables and program systems, we're now finding they can install 2 in a day, right? Some of the fire systems that we've helped our partners with, they would have said they would cable that for 4 weeks. They were done in 5. So it's still the same high quality engineers that are installing our high quality product, but they're now installing it quicker, which means they can do one or two things. They can either make more margin on the installation, so they can charge the customer the same price and make that extra 10K, for instance, and go for a nice holiday to the Bahamas. Or what they can do is they can win more business. So they can charge a little bit less and win more business into their company, right? So therefore they're getting more installs, they're making more profit and more margin. So we see that side of the industry changing, where it's a faster, more engineer-friendly installation. So we're seeing that as a one money maker. The other side of it is after it's been installed. With a lot of other systems, if there's a problem on site, the customer will phone up the company, say, my system's beeping, what can I do? That company then has to send an engineer to site. They then have to have a look, go back. They may not have what they need on their van, so they then have to do a return visit, which is all costing the business not only time, but money. The price of fuel has gone up, so they're having to put more fuel in the vans and things like that. What we find with Ajax is because it's that one ecosystem, it's that one system that can be viewed remotely, they can do proactive maintenance rather than reactive maintenance. So they can know exactly what the issue is before they go to site, which means it's a first-time fix. The end user's happy because the engineer just comes once. They don't have to wait around, the shop shuts at 5 o'clock and they're waiting till 7 for an engineer. With our system, the engineer can come once, they can fix the problem and then go and fix another problem and go and fix another problem rather than having to keep coming back. So therefore, you've got highly skilled people going to fix the problem straight away.
These are some great points, thank you. So the next topic is AI. AI is developing extremely fast right now. So how do you personally see the future of AI in the security system and the Ajax ecosystem?
So yes, you say AI has come on a long way over the past few years in a very short period of time, and it's continuously developing. For me, in the security industry, we're seeing, cameras and things like that are now able to detect people, vehicles, animals, and any movement. And the detection rate of AI is improving all the time. We liken it to a little mouse brain, and you're feeding that little mouse brain information all of the time. So our systems, we have a feature in our app, for instance, that you can submit some footage from our AI cameras, whether it's correct or whether it's incorrect. And what that does is that feeds the mouse brain then to go, okay, we're getting better detection rates. So for me, the industry, I think, is going to move on in the next 2, 3, 5, 10 years, and AI is going to be more prevalent. We're going to have, I believe, more accurate AI than ever before. So, whether that's facial recognition, whether that's knowing, whether someone should be there or they shouldn't be there, whether it's, times of day and things like that, it's really going to shape the industry. I can't see AI going backwards, only forwards. So Ajax, as we said, is at the forefront of everything, right? Globally, we're one of the market leaders in fire, security, CCTV. So for us, what we can achieve and what we've achieved in the past 11 years since we were founded is incredible. And I can only see that getting better over the next 2, 3, 5 years as our fantastic R&D team keep researching, keep developing, and keep really pushing the industry forward. So in answer to your question, I think AI is here to stay. I think it's only going to get better. And I truly believe we're going to be at the forefront of making it better and making systems more smarter using AI technology.
Yeah, it's definitely a great helper for us.
Oh, 100%, 100%.
All right, Aaron, now it's time for the tricky part. We're going to play a small game. It's called Myth or Fact. I read a statement to you. If you agree, you say fact. If you disagree, you say myth.
Okay.
Ready?
Yep.
Okay.
Born ready.
Perfect. The first one. One ecosystem is better than 5 different apps for every system.
Fact.
The second one. If it works, don't touch it. Beats innovate before competitors do.
Myth.
AI in security is currently overhyped.
Myth.
One huge project is less profitable than 10 loyal recurring clients.
Myth.
Ancient British castles adapt to innovation faster than some installers.
Fact.
Perfect. So Aaron, which statement did you like the most?
So for me, they're all great statements, right? Okay. And all interesting points in their own right. For me, I think the funniest one is the castle, right? So as I said earlier, we've installed our systems with our key partners in stately homes in castles, and we've still got people that are still bringing out Nokia 3310s to answer the phone. And, the castles have adapted quicker. Ancient castles than some installers. So any installers out there that are watching this, we're happy to work with you. We're happy to support you. Change from the past and live in the present moment. Don't be an ancient castle. Be part of the future. Be part of the technology. Be part of the change. We're here to help. Happy to assist you.
You have heard that, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Next is going to be the question from our partner. How do I convince customers that Ajax is worth installing? From your experience, which points do work the best?
So for me, really good question from our partner, right? So for me, the 3 key points. One is, as we've discussed, about one ecosystem. So when they're installing the system for the end user, whether that's residential or commercial, they have one app. They don't have 5 different apps that they have to go through to set the alarm, to check on their fire system, to check on their CCTV. It's one complete app. that they can control everything from, whether that's automation, to different devices. So for me, that's a big point, a big selling point when they're looking to sell Ajax over any other product that's out there. The second one for me is reliability. So I've personally been to our manufacturing plants. We make our products, we test them. So probably 80% of what we do is testing, 20% is manufacturing. Every device that comes from our manufacturing is tested. So, one of our main points that we've got on one of our main values on our website is we don't release shit. And
that's true.
Exactly. And for the end user, they've got that reliability to know that once our partner installs our system, they know it's always going to work. So no matter what happens, when they need it most is when they want it to work. What they don't want is the worst to happen, someone to break in, a fire to take hold, and the system doesn't work. And it's only afterwards that they go, oh, we should have installed something different, right? With our system, they've got that reliability to know that it's always going to work. They're always going to be protected by that partner, that installer, and by Ajax. And then the other part is, again, the connected world. So for us, technology's moved on quite a lot. It used to be security systems used to go down telephone lines, which is great until someone cuts the telephone line, right? And then it doesn't work anymore. It's 24 hours before they know there's a problem. With our systems, it's a connected world. So we have systems that go via Ethernet, LAN connection, Wi-Fi, and dual SIM. So therefore, no matter what the scenario, no matter what the situation, the customer's got that reliability that is always going to be connected. So if someone tries jamming, spoofing, cutting the telephone lines and things like that, our system will always work. So for me, it's about having one ecosystem, one app. It's about having reliable products that are always going to work when you need them, and about having a connected system that is there and connected to the outside world 24 hours a day, 365 days a year.
For sure, as an end user of the Ajax system, I totally agree with these points. They work for me for 100% for sure.
Thank you.
Aaron, if you recall, a short time ago, I have read you a statement, AI in security is currently overhyped, where you answered myth. So we're not alone in this room. Okay, apart from the whole team sitting behind the scenes, while you were answering the question, my AI assistant listened to and created a list of questions based on your answers. So let's go one by one, okay?
Okay.
The first one. If Ajax disappeared tomorrow, would the UK market continue evolving or fall back into old habits?
Really good question from AI. For me, I think the industry would fall back into old habits. People would still go, oh, I'll install that metal box. They still install Ajax, but I think they would fall back into old habits, unfortunately.
I see. Okay. Next one. You speak a lot about innovation. What's one thing Ajax still does badly today?
Badly? Well, there's a good question. I could say we don't do anything bad. However, I'd be lying.
Okay.
So for me, I think sometimes we move too fast. Not too fast for Ajax, but too fast for the industry sometimes. Mm-hmm. So, there are still dinosaurs out there in the industry that are still set in their ways, and we've overtaken them. We've moved so fast that people sometimes struggle to keep up. So if it's one thing we do maybe badly is innovate very quickly and try and move the market on to where it should be and where it's possible to be, whilst, still trying to bring those dinosaurs along with us. So, some say it's a bad thing. I say it's a good thing that we're moving the industry along.
But on the other hand, we release a lot of materials to help those people, to keep up with our speed.
Yeah, so we've got a fantastic repertoire of, Ajax Academy, a great online tool for people to go on and learn about Ajax, from installation videos to, marketing material on our partner portal as well. So we've got lots of different things that can really help people move from the stone ages of fire and security into the 21st century. And we're happy to help them do that. Happy to help.
And this channel, Ajax Pro channel, is also for that. So don't forget to subscribe. Have you already subscribed?
Actually, I think I still need to.
Oh, I'm going to control that, Aaron.
Okay.
Aaron, we discussed a lot of things today, and I want to end this interview with a question concerning the future of the industry. How do you see the new generation of security installers?
Yeah, so for me, I think where previously engineers were only skilled in one discipline. So you had engineers that could only install CCTV or could only install intruder systems or fire systems. I think the industry is changing now where every engineer can be multi-skilled. Every engineer using Ajax can install a fire system, an intruder system, a CCTV system, as long as they've had appropriate training and are certified, of course. But the engineers now can go and install one system rather than having a company to send multiple engineers. So I think the industry is going to change in that sense, where no longer are people just doing one thing, one focus. They're now doing multi-systems on one site a lot quicker than they ever could before.
Perfect point. Aaron, thank you so much for the conversation and sharing real insights from one of the most demanding security markets in Europe, UK. And guys, if you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to leave your comment down below, hit the subscribe button, and please, we need your support. We need to know that we are moving in the right direction. By the way, we read all the comments, or AI reads, who knows? So thank you for watching Ajax Talks, and see you in the next episode.
And thank you for having me. Great to see you all.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.